Hi, I'm Cherie, and I'm with Click It, Don't Risk It, and that's a project funded by the Office of Highway Safety in Nebraska. We're going to talk about seat belts. Does everybody wear their seat belt? You know that you're supposed to wear it every trip, every time, and do you make sure that everybody in your car is wearing their seat belt as well? You know, if somebody does not wear their seatbelt and they fly around and they hit you in the head because they weren't wearing their seatbelt, that's not fair. You are wearing your seatbelt, so make sure everybody else is also. Now this is Strawberry Shortcake, and she is going for a ride with her cousin, Blueberry Muffin. Blueberry is wearing both her lap and her shoulder belt, and she is safe in the car. Strawberry thinks, oh, we're just going for a short ride, so I'm not going to put my belt on. But should she? Yes, she should always wear her seatbelt every trip, every time. Let's see what happens to her. Ah! She flew out of the car. And Blueberry is just fine. She's still in there. Let's see it one more time. Strawberry, this is a good crash. Let's see. Ah! Oh, this time she flew all the way onto the floor. And Blueberry is still fine. She's in the car. Now, Strawberry is a doll, and she's made out of plastic, so she's not going to get very hurt. But sometimes I like to use eggs because they will break more like a person could break. Now, the egg is too fat to get into the Strawberry car, too many donuts, not enough exercise, so we're going to use a different car. Now, a lot of times we like to use the Spider-Man car. This is a good car. It's very cool, and someday when you drive, you're going to have a car that's just this cool, except that you have to wear your seatbelt no matter what. Even if you're in a really cool car and you're really cool, you still have to wear a seatbelt every trip, every time. So let's see what happens. The egg is going to climb in, and he's not going to wear a seatbelt, and he's going to drive this car down this road. Now he should know this isn't a very good road. He's already seen the crash, but let's see it again. Uh-oh. Look what happened to the egg. He got broken. Usually what happens with this car is that if you're not wearing a seatbelt, you go forward and you fall into the steering wheel, and that's what all this breakage is. And then sometimes they fly all the way out and down onto the floor. It's bad. So let's try another car. How about this time? Let's try the Jeep. Sometimes people think they can ride safely in the back of a vehicle, and you can't because there aren't any seat belts back there. So he's going to go for a ride in this Jeep, and we'll see what happens to him. Whoops. He flew all the way out of the car, and he's broken. Let's see. Oh, that was a bad crash. Okay, let's try one other car. This car is a really good car. It is a Barbie car. And Uno from Yo Gabba Gabba is in there, and he's got on both his lap and his shoulder belt. You have to wear both belts. You cannot, have you ever seen that when kids sometimes put their shoulder belt behind their back? You can't do that. It's not magic. You have to wear it across your front to keep you safe, because you have to have two safety belts. One is across your front, one is across your hips, and both of them are designed to go across the strongest areas of your body so that you will be held in place in the car. So let's see what happens with this crash. Sometimes people think a bigger car is safer. That isn't always true. You still have to wear a seatbelt because, see, this egg is not wearing a seatbelt, so let's see what happens. He still flies down, and he doesn't go out of the car because he went down under the dashboard, but look where he is. He's down under here, and he's not in very good shape. He should have been wearing a seatbelt to hold him in his seat. Uno is just fine. He's still sitting in his seat just the way he should be. But the egg flew down under the dashboard and broke. Now, do you know what a rollover crash is? Sometimes a car will go off the edge of the road and it'll roll over. And so when it goes like this, usually what happens is that the person in the car flies out the window the same direction that the car is rolling. So the car might actually roll over top of the person. That's not good. You never want to have a car on top of you. That'd be bad. So the moral of the story is you need to wear your seatbelt every trip, every time. You always want to wear both your lap and your shoulder belt, and you need to be buckled up whenever you're in a car, no matter whether you're driving or whether you're riding. Thanks, guys.